sport's highest honor in just a few days from a new class going into the Basketball Hall of Fame. NBA TV has coverage all throughout the week, and you want to set your DVR for Friday's enshrinement ceremony. A celebrated class of players, coaches, and executives. Sincere, honest, and a person I want to hang out with. Words penned by Larry Brown in an open letter about the man he will present at Friday's enshrinement ceremony. That man joins us now on GameTime. We welcome in Kansas head coach Bill Self. Coach, congrats on the ultimate honor. And what was your reaction to Coach Brown's letter in the Players Tribune?
Well, I actually somebody sent it to me today because I don't know when it came out, but it was a nice letter. It was probably written exactly the way my mother would have written it for him, to be honest. But no, he was way too kind with that, but certainly he means a lot to me, and he means a lot to so many that have been involved with this game because he's touched so many, because he's been at so many different places. But having him with me on Friday will be special for me.
Coach Self, congratulations. I want to ask you, we have our list of memories when it comes to your career that we shine a light on as things we celebrate. But what do you remember most about your journey to this point?
Well, you know, I was somebody asked me that today during a press conference, and you know, of course, obviously Mario's shot in 2008 to help us win a championship was huge. But I don't think I remember the big games or the big moments or the championships. What I really believe what I will take from this most is the connection with the players and the coaches. You know, winning those games was pretty special, and of course the big ones always are. And you played in so many, Rick. But the people that you played with, or the people that you coached during that time, were more special than the actual wins, and that's what made it cool, because it was the people that you were doing it with. So I'll take that away more than anything, and I usually don't reflect like that, but I've had an opportunity to of late, and certainly it kind of gets emotional because there's been so many people that have impacted your life in such a positive way.
It's such a unique setup with mostly college coaches who go into the Basketball Hall of Fame, because we don't think you're announcing your retirement anytime soon. Do you find it at all strange that you're getting the sport's highest individual honor and you still probably have a long time to go on the sidelines?
Well, I don't know how long, but no, it is different. You know, I don't know how it is. Rick would know better, but I think a player has to be retired for 5 years or so before he's eligible to be considered. And of course, in coaching, there's no telling how long you can coach, obviously. So I guess instead of waiting till guys retire at age 70 or whatnot, they just go ahead and do it when they feel like that they're deserving, and certainly, you know, I'm appreciative, but I also know there's a lot of guys that have done a lot more than me, and I actually work for one of them. You know, it's when I text Coach Sutton, Eddie Sutton, I was embarrassed texting him and letting him know that I was going in, because there's no way that I would deserve this honor, certainly before he does, and so it is a little weird, but certainly, you know, I'm not going to give it back. I'm proud of it, but it's a little bit different to be. You know, I think I'm somewhat in my prime. Maybe in the latter part of my prime, but it is a little bit weird to be going in at this juncture.
Well, Coach, on this journey, this continued journey, you have to look back, and there was probably a moment or an individual that impressed upon you the opportunity that that you could become a coach and become a great coach at that. Do you remember that one person that made that decision easy for you to move forward?
Well, it was probably Coach Brown. You know, I got my degree in business, and my dad was a coach, and my mother was a school teacher, and my grandparents were school teachers, and I thought that was a great profession, but I wanted to do something different. So I got my degree in business, and I'm up working basketball camp for Coach Brown in the summer before my senior year, and I hurt my knee, and the more I limped, the more bad it felt, and so I limped more and more throughout the week. And at the end of camp, I went and thanked him for the opportunity to come up and hang out and just work camp for a week. No big deal. And he said, "Bill, hey man, I'm sorry about your leg, but if there's ever anything you can do that I can do for you, don't hesitate to ask." And the opportunity knocked. I said, "Coach, there is one thing," and he said, "Name it." I said, "You can hire me to be your graduate assistant next year." he said, "You're hired." So I went from being a business major to a college basketball coach in a 30-second conversation. And so just kind of lucked into it. I always wanted to coach, but for whatever reason, I was kind of putting myself in a situation where I wouldn't go down that path. But when that opportunity presented itself, I was all in. And being at Kansas, and we were 35-4 and had a great team, and went to the Final Four. And that's when I realized, hey, this is fun. I want to do this. And so that's kind of how I got started. And from there, I was been so fortunate to align myself accidentally or on purpose or whatever the reasons were with all the right people that definitely taught me and promoted me and opened doors for me. And I've been very, very fortunate.
Coach Self, we understand that being a college basketball coach is so far beyond just what happens inside the lines on the court, but obviously, even if just a small sliver of it, especially at a program of your level, it is selling guys on the fact that you can get them to the NBA. What has changed over your years in terms of the preparation that you have seen the NBA has asked of players that spend time at your university?
Well, I think that, first of all, I think college coaches get a bad rap. For people to think that they're not being prepared while they're in college is ridiculous. To me, I'm sure Rick would agree that his time at Carolina certainly helped allow him to be more of a professional, whether it be on the court, in habits, or whatever, when he got there. And certainly I think that's the same with college coaches. I mean, we've tried real hard to prepare guys for that next level. Now, we may not prepare them with the same rules or whatever, but the gist, the common thread of how to play, how to be responsible, how to be a teammate, how to be disciplined. Those things are a common thread that runs through all of us. But it has changed, with the rules the way they are. It's you're not going to see a situation where a Danny Manning stays in school 4 years, or a Tim Duncan, or a Michael Jordan for 3, or Patrick Ewing for 4, or Leitner for 4. It's basically and you can't blame anybody because it's the way it's set up. But hey, get in and get out. And there's certainly advantages to getting to that next level as quickly as possible. But with that, you gotta kind of accelerate everything to hopefully put the guys in a position to be as prepared as they can be. And it is a little bit. I think it's challenging. I think it's challenging for some coaches. But I know in my thinking is the time is right is whenever the time is right. You can't force it. Certainly, but we want to prepare our guys to have a career, not get a check. And I've been blessed to coach some really good players. I think there's like 36 or 38 that have played in the NBA, and a ton of lottery picks and everything else. But the reality of it is, you go to school so you can prepare to play in the league. Not as much with the best players do you go to school because that's where I want to graduate from. And certainly that dynamic's changed over the last 20 or 30 years.
Well, Coach, we appreciate your perspective there on the topic, and we congratulate you on receiving this honor. We can't wait to see your speech Friday evening, which we'll have right here on NBA TV. Coach Self, thanks so much for joining us here. The Hall of Fame enshrinement ceremony gets underway here Friday, and we'll have coverage all leading up to the week. And then, of course, Rick, something you know about the red carpet ceremony. You've been on a few of those. We'll have it Friday at 6:30 Eastern, 3:30 Pacific, right here on NBA TV, getting you set for the enshrinement ceremony.